Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero medium. Please stay tuned. Some of you who know me know that I really like Cold Steel, and I really think it's my favorite company for knives. My normal everyday carry is this American Lawman by Cold Steel. It's really my favorite knife right now. But we're here to talk about the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero medium size. They also have a large size, much larger sizes, and they also come with serrations. And this example here is a plain edge. Now, I went ahead and this sort of was an unscheduled purchase because Woot, if you go to woot.com, it's like one deal a day, but they also have like Woot Sport. They have like different categories, and they were selling these things for the unbelievable low price of $17.99. Normal price for this is around about $38 is about the average price for this particular knife. So I couldn't pass it up. On the box here, they do have the Cold Steel warranty where they stand 100% behind it. And from what I understand, they really do take care of their customers very, very well. Another thing they have on here, well, let me see if they have where it's made. It says it's extremely sharp. What I don't see is where it's made. Now, I do know just by my research here is that it is made in Taiwan. Now, they also state that this has the Triad lock. The Triad lock is an unbelievably strong lock. It's probably the strongest one in the industry. So let's go ahead and unpack this. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just go over the specifications really quick. You folks could do this on your own. If you put in like the make and model of the knife and then put the word specs over there in Google, Google it, you could probably get this information too. Especially if you don't believe what I'm telling you, you could double check me. So the blade length is 3 inches and the thickness of the blade is 3 millimeters. The overall length is 7¼ inches. It's made of AUS 8A steel, which is about the equivalent of American 440B. Its weight is 3.1 ounces. I double checked it on the scale. It's right on at exactly 3.1 ounces. The handle is 4¼ inches, and it's made of Gryvery, is what they call it. To me, it sort of feels like Zytel is probably the closest example, but it's a plastic. And it comes with a pocket clip, of course, right there. Now, if you notice, this pocket clip is sort of shaped. It has a shape to it. It's a curve, so obviously, when you mount it on the other side, which you can with this knife, it's not going to be going in the right direction. So they do give you right there a extra pocket clip for left-handed people. So what that means is it's always tip up, but it's left or right-handed. Really, really nice. So let's go ahead and take a real close look. I think this is a very, very handsome looking knife. You can see it has a Torx pivot screw right there, so you can adjust it to your liking. And you have some smaller Torx here, so you could actually disassemble this with no problem. Now you can see the back is totally closed up, so dirt will gather in there, and you're going to have to either get in there or open this thing up to clean it out. Next thing you'll notice, it is a lock back. Now, this isn't a normal lock back. It has the pin right there, so when the blade opens, it butts up against the pin instead of the lock itself. That's the beauty of the Triad lock system. So that pin takes the pressure, not the lock. This is absolutely one of the strongest locks in the industry. There are examples of these things getting clamped into a clamp right here, and they hang hundreds of pounds off this handle, and it does not fold. And we'll do some very light testing with this just to make sure there's no manufacturing flaws in here. Now, like I said, the clip can be mounted on both sides, and you can see that it has ambidextrous thumb studs, so this is 100% ambidextrous. Since it is a lock back, you don't have to worry about the frame or the liner lock being on one side or the other. Now, one thing with the most Triad locks is that you really got to press down really hard all the way down there to get this to release. You can see it's not going to release there. You really got to get it all the way up. The beauty of that is that, again, adds more strength to this lock, but you can see my finger is still dented right there. So it does take a little bit getting used to. I'm going to just zoom out a little bit more. So for folks who like to fold this one-handed, you're going to have to really, really press down on there hard. And then, again, it's very hard to fold this thing one-handed. One thing I noticed is I can press this and then flip it, because it's not going to hit your finger. The shoulder of the blade will hit your finger right there. But I'm not telling you to do this, because if you cut yourself, I don't want you looking for me. But see, it does not cut my finger. I'll do that again there. See? So if you want to do it one-handed, that's a good way of doing it. Now let's go ahead and take a close look at that beautiful blade. That is a sort of a modified clip point, sort of an S clip point is sort of what they call it. Really, it's it's a shape of its own. Has that really nice belly. Probably makes it a very good slicer. As far as a stabber, it looks like stabbing with a slight upward motion could be pretty good with this, but I don't think that's its intended purpose. Now the blade itself is a flat grind all the way down from all the way to the top, and that makes it a little bit difficult to use one of those clamp-on systems to sharpen the blade, since it doesn't have flat surfaces to line up perfectly with. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to use probably an alternative type sharpening system. You can see it says Voyager here. Another thing you'll notice is that beautiful stonewash finish. It is gorgeous. Really nice. Sharpening choil right there. Nice touch. And you can see here on this side, it does say made in Taiwan. You can see cold steel. They do have that screw there. You can turn this around if you want, the thumb stubs, but I don't know. Whatever. The texture on the Gryvery scales here, or grips, whatever you want to call them, is very aggressive. And really helps you get a really good purchase on this knife. This knife is not going anywhere. It's really, really strong. Now, this is the medium size, and for me, it's a little too small. You could see when I hold this, my hand is not going into its intended place. So if you have small hands or medium-sized hands, it's probably a perfect fit. If you have large hands, your pinky is going to go a little bit out of that intended groove for your fingers. But overall, it's still comfortable. Even holding it like this, for me, it's pretty comfortable. Reverse grip, again, because of the shape right there, very comfortable. And again, your pinky here will end up into this finger choil area here. So again, you're going to have a very, very good grip and purchase on this knife. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Let's go ahead and start doing some checks on here. You can see that the blade centering is perfect. Perfect. Again, there's where you mount the other belt clip if you want. Just move it over. Not belt clip, a pocket clip. This does not have a lanyard hole. I didn't even notice that until I'm sitting here in the video trying to find where it is. There is no lanyard hole to this knife. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the sharpness of this blade as it comes to you. I mean, it felt sharp to me. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a push cut. If you notice, I wasn't like moving it this way. I just pushed it through. So it comes very sharp from the factory. That's amazing how sharp that is. Let me see this. Oh yeah. Very, 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 very sharp. Next test. Get this piece of wood. And what I do here is I just sort of stab this into the wood, and then I'm going to move it back and forth to see if the tip will break off. This is soft pine, so it's not going to put a lot of torque on the tip. But if they had like faulty heat treatment, this could break it. You can see it's in there. Alright, so let's take a look at that tip. And you can see the tip is perfectly fine. Got a little dirt there. Nice and sharp. Oops, I just stabbed my desk there. One thing I failed to tell you is that it does have steel liners in there, as you can see. Now, as far as cons go, because I really had to dig to find something that I didn't like about this knife, the lock is very, very hard to press down. I went ahead and disassembled mine because I like to see how these things are made, and basically there's a spring in here that's underneath this bar, and it's very short and very, very stiff, so you're really fighting that spring, but that does make this a much safer knife, but it does require quite a bit of strength to get that down there, and that's the first thing that people will notice about this knife right out of the box. There's so much to like about this. The only other con is if you have large hands, you're going to feel like that this handle's too small. As far as pros, you're getting an awesome lock. AUS 8A steel is a good all-around steel. It will hold up pretty good. It's not a super steel, but it's a very good steel, especially for the price. It's the right steel. And even the texture I like. One thing to keep in mind when you have a very rough texture like this, and you have your pocket clip right here, the material, it's going to be gripping on that. And if you have material, your pants material, that is delicate, it could rip it. And if it's thick, it'll hold pretty good. So just keep that in mind. So do I recommend this? I absolutely recommend this knife. It's going to get a 9 out of 10. And the other thing is, because I got these for $17.99 a piece on woot.com, I got an extra one. Why? Because I'm going to have a contest, and it's really going to be to get you over to my new channel, so you could check that out. If you don't know about it, it's a vlog, video log channel that I'll just post things sort of while I'm driving home and I'm in my truck or something like that, but not the well put together ones that I have here on this channel. So one of the requirements to win this is to subscribe to the new channel. And that contest, I'll probably put that contest video up on Tuesday. So let's go ahead and plan on that. So there we go. The Voyager by Cold Steel, the Vaquero, I could never say that, the Vaquero, whatever. I practice saying that word like 1,000 times. Vaquero, Voyager Vaquero, the medium size. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, and subscriber. And I hope you have a really good evening, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Take care.